This is Optimal Health Daily, episode 1942. Strength Imbalances, How to Strengthen a Weak Side by Nia Shanks of niashanks.com. And I'm Dr. Neil, your host and narrator. Hey there, happy Sunday and welcome to Optimal Health Daily, or OHD, where I read to you from some of the most popular health and fitness blogs online. Now, I'm sure you're thinking about the upcoming holiday festivities, especially Thanksgiving for those of us in the U.S., and I'm going to keep this intro nice and short so you can get back to your holiday preparations. So let's get right to it and start optimizing your life. Strength Imbalances, How to Strengthen a Weak Side by Nia Shanks of niashanks.com. Strength imbalances. We all have them to some extent. Everyone has a more dominant leg and arm, but the degree to which one side is stronger than the other can vary greatly. While getting strong in a hurry is great, the question posed here is, how can you bring up a weak leg or weak side of your body? For example, what should you do if one leg is stronger than the other, or if you can't hoist the same weight of a dumbbell with your weaker arm as you can with your stronger arm? In the past, my recommendation was to always start with the weak side of the body first when performing single leg or single arm exercises, then use the same weight, if using additional weight, and perform the same number of reps on the stronger side. But now I suggest the complete opposite. A simple way to improve a weaker leg or weaker side of the body. When it comes to unilateral exercises, for example, reverse lunges, single leg hip thrusts, and pistols for the lower body, and one-arm bench presses, dumbbell rows, and one-arm push presses for the upper body, start with the stronger limb first. If you're following an awesome workout program, perform the prescribed reps with a challenging weight for the stronger limb first. Once you complete the set with the stronger limb, perform a set with the weaker limb. But here's the trick. If you have a mild to moderate strength imbalance, most likely you can use more weight or perform more reps with the stronger side. When you perform the set with the weaker limb, perform the same number of reps using the same weight as you did with the stronger side. Now, this may not be possible to do in a single set. So, what you'll do is perform as many reps as you can with good form and then rest a few moments before squeezing out the remaining reps. This works well for weighted exercises and body weight exercises as well. Here's a visual to bring this all together. Let's say you're doing one-arm dumbbell push presses for sets of 8 reps. So you start with your stronger arm and perform 8 challenging but perfect reps with a 25-pound dumbbell. After you complete the set with the stronger arm, you then move on to the weaker arm. However, you may only be able to perform 6 reps on the weaker arm while maintaining proper form. What you do next is simply rest a few moments, I'd say about 15 to 20 seconds, and then you perform the remaining 2 reps to give you a total of 8 reps on the weaker arm. The great thing about using this work the stronger limb first approach is that you're not holding anything back on the stronger limb, and you're almost forcing the weaker limb to catch up. I've used this technique successfully to increase my strength with dumbbell push presses and to improve the number of pistols and skater squats I can perform on both legs. Let's go over another example using a lower body weight only exercise. In my personal case, I wanted to increase the number of skater squats I could perform with my weaker leg. I did a set on my stronger leg first, 14 reps. Then, I did a set on my weaker leg and could only do 11 perfect reps. I rested about 15 seconds and then performed 3 additional reps for a total of 14 reps, the same number I performed on my stronger leg. By training my stronger leg first in each set and achieving the same number of reps on my weaker leg in about 2 mini sets, I was able to increase the number I could perform on both legs. So as you can see, this work the stronger side first approach is great for weighted and body weight exercises. And not only is this a helpful tip for boosting strength on your weaker side, but it's also great for sculpting muscle. Because you're forcing your weaker side to work a bit harder, it's a great way to build some muscle. Now please note, I only suggest using this technique if your strength imbalance is fairly mild. If you have a large strength imbalance or some other issue due to injury that's causing a strength imbalance, then I do not suggest you apply this information. Strengthen your weaker side. If you want to strengthen your weaker leg and or arm, just apply these guidelines to your next workout. This technique is great for busting through a strength or muscle sculpting plateau as well. Just remember to train safe and don't force yourself to squeeze out the same number of reps. Always use and maintain proper form on every rep and break the set down into mini sets if necessary. You just listened to the post titled Strength Imbalances: How to Strengthen a Weak Side by Nia Shanks of niashanks.com. Dr. Neil here for my commentary. I am definitely guilty of having a weaker side. It's funny because I'm left-handed when I write, but when I perform sports, like when I'm throwing a baseball or kicking a soccer ball, my right side is more dominant. And so my right side ended up becoming much stronger than my left. And I'll be honest, when I first started out with resistance training, I was kind of sort of lazy about it. And so I let my stronger side do most of the work, especially when I was doing something like a bench press, which required both arms. I would just let my stronger side lift more of it. Same with any leg movement. My right leg was much stronger than my left. But at one point, as most of my family members typically do, they pointed out that my right pec was looking larger than my left. It's so funny how some of my family members never hesitate to point out some of the quote-unquote flaws in my appearance. So I was like, okay, great. Now I've got to make sure that my pecs don't look all out of balance. And so I had to think about strengthening my left pec. And what I would do was the old way of trying to strengthen my left pec, the way Nia Shanks originally described, basically what not to do. I ended up doing that. So I would start with my weaker side, try and lift heavier on that weaker side to make it catch up, and it never worked. I just got frustrated because I couldn't lift that heavier weight for more than 2 or 3 reps. So I love Nia's approach. And you may be wondering, did I ever get my left side to match up with my right? I sure did. And it's only because I actually ended up using this same approach that Nia described, where you do the same amount of reps, even with a break in between, using the same weight as your stronger side. But I didn't know about it at the time. I eventually stumbled upon this sort of by accident. And so when I was reading this, I was like, oh my gosh, this is the same technique I used. All right, that'll do it from me for today. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. And don't forget, I'll be back in a moment with a bonus episode as usual. So I'll see you there where your optimal life awaits.